Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy SCGRANT here, and we're back with a pretty much a throwback video. Something that I have done pretty much years ago when I started back my original channel, because as truth be told, I actually became my main channel actually began in 2014. But it wasn't until 2017 when I started making videos, and one of my first set of videos was simply my take on pretty much the Hot Wheels games that basically was roaming around the 2000s at the time. Most notably Hot Wheels, Velocity X, and World Race, and what you're seeing today is Stunt Track Challenge. Now, my experience with Stunt Track Challenge goes as follows. I never actually got it when it first came out back in 2004. I did play Velocity X and World Race during the 2000s when I was a kid in my household, but I never gotten to experience Stunt Track Challenge. What I thought of it at first, because there were advertisements and stuff back then, but what I thought of it was essentially World Race, because I can recognize some of the vehicles from World Race, but this time you can actually see the cars in different liveries and think that this was actually a thing. But when I found out that this game, Stunt Track Challenge, lets you customize Hot Wheels cars, I'm like, okay, this was definitely another racing game that was going on the whole customization thing, and express yourself and all that. But the fact of the matter is that it wasn't until around early to mid 2017 when I decided to take a look back at those videos, and even more that I even had a collab partner at the time when we were basically playing GT Online. We basically went ahead and decided to record our voices doing it. We had to use Skype. I think it was, no, I had to use a screen recorder to record both our voices doing it then. Remember, this was 2017 at the time, and I was in college, I believe. Yeah, I was in college at the time, and I wanted to get my thoughts on pretty much all three Hot Wheels games that had the interactive logo trademark on there. But now that pretty much time has passed, it was time for me to make haste and basically give you what I personally thought of Stunt Track Challenge. And I'll sum it up to you. I'm pretty much summing up towards to y'all in just pretty much just a few statements. Number one, less tracks, less cars, and pretty much online functionality. Let me explain. Less cars. First of all, this game was built upon from World Race. So why are there less cars? Because 35 cars from the previous game was no problem, but here the cars are in the game, but there were definitely some cars that were left out. It feels as though it's that they had to take vehicles that could work with pretty much a game show, pretty much an in-game challenge like Stunt Track Challenge, which is actually a game show because it's 16 tracks and environments. But the fact of the matter is that I did not expect them to cut a lot of cars that were from World Race. I mean, the fact is they could have at least replaced those 35, at least those missing vehicles from World Race with something brand new added to the Hot Wheels lineup, but no, they stuck with what they had and had to implement a customization fusion to make up for that. Number two, less tracks. Alright, I'm gonna get this right now. Look, World Race had 50 tracks. They had 10 of them that were themed around each of the teams from World Race, while the 5 were original. One from Tesla's Q, one space, we have a space theme with 2 tracks, and we have a pretty much a sky theme with 2 tracks. This game has a prehistoric theme, an insect theme, a pirate theme, a tiki theme, a space theme, and a lava theme. Pretty much that's how it is. Once again, there's only 12 since it came. And my third gripe, or pretty much how you say, point to point out, was the fact the reason why I felt this game was not ready was for online multiplayer. I feel as though it's that this was going to be the game that was, because it was at the time that racing games was going to have online functionality, and I said to myself, Hot Wheels was not ready for that kind of commitment just yet. It still needed at least another game. Hell, even Climax's other game, Crash and Burn, had online functionality. I don't know what's with racing games functionality back then, like 20 years ago, but once again, it's not what we have now. Back then, it was more scarce, and the fact is that pretty much because, look, Need for Speed Underground had online multiplayer, because it already was a year prior. Once again, EA already dabbled with it in the past. So having Mattel jump on this, it screams, yeah, that ain't it, Chief. I think Stunt Track Challenge is going to be better off as 100% offline, and they only have split screen and everything, and with more cars and more tracks, it could have definitely been worth it. But once again, I smell basically time constraints and budget restraints from basically getting this game out. Anyway, that's all I say about this little video regarding Stunt Check Challenge. Anyway, it's your boy SCGRANT, and I'll see you all in the next one.